Okay, what's up, Spreaker? Damn, I got more to say today. Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube. You're on the couch. It's DJ Conzo. We got sound effects in tonight.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, brother?
It's a
Okay,
pleasure to be.
I gotta give a little note to everybody out here right now. Mm, by August 1st, I should have a new computer, one that's not a fucking Chromebook, because Hangouts is leaving YouTube. And if that happens, we got no more YouTube, fam. So I'm working on getting a laptop, and we're gonna keep this shit going. Hopefully, that's my little update. We're gonna get to sound effects right now. You know, you're kind of like two parts here. You're artist and promoter, right?
I mix and mingle. It's all networking.
All
But
that.
yeah, I do a little promoting. I do. I'm an artist first and foremost. That's where it all derives from. But yeah, I do promoting. I actually do. I do some social media stuff too as well. I kind of specialize in Facebook, but there's a couple artists that I work with out here in Arizona that I actually I specialize in marketing videos in particular. So I do a couple of different things. It's all fun. It's all fun, but it's starting to turn into something real for me.
There you go. Well, this, like you said, you're first and foremost an artist. That's what I was going to jump into first. Uh, like everybody watches the show, they know it gets a little nutty. We get off the fucking topics and everything else. So we're going to start with the ABC stuff first and see where we go. How'd you get into this, bro?
Uh, Music. I mean, just my love for music. Um, I don't know. At a really young age, I just it was something I clung on to because I didn't have much in life outside of that. I was an orphan, so it was a sense of escape for me for my life, and I ended up diving into a notebook and wrote a bunch of stuff myself, starting at an early age, and I don't know, kind of ran into some people into the scene a few years back, and it all became real. What I had done on my own became a realistic goal, and I made a solid goal and a solid plan, and I kind of have stuck to it for the past 3 years, and it's just kind of been growing ever since.
Right? I'm a horrible host because I can't remember the damn song that I fell in love with that you did. You released maybe a month ago. It's got that
Yeah,
reggae vibe to it.
yeah, I was with the Jamaican artist.
Yeah,
I want to branch out a little bit, and instead of just make rap music, I want to. I think it's time that I start making actual, I don't know, actual songs, opposed to just of the rap genre. I think a lot of artists out here should too, but that's one of my big focuses. Is I know it's weird that I picked the Jamaican market, but I made that song and I tapped into that network for that market. I've also been tapped in. I've been tapping into the UK market and a couple other European markets as well. But I don't know. I ended up connecting with this Jamaican artist, and he kind of convinced me. He was like, brother, he's like, we need to do a track. He's like, people in Jamaica will go crazy over you if they hear you rap on one of our type of beats. It's like they're gonna go crazy over you. So I have more plans with that artist, and I'm gonna do more music like that because it was really fun. Doing a Jamaican song was really fun, and I haven't heard anybody do something like that out here. So I think I'm gonna grow off that. I think I want to build off it. I think we're gonna do me and him might actually do a small project, a 3 or 5 song EP. Just outside of I'm also going to record a full project here in about a month. Outside of that, which will be my normal music that my lane that I've kind of carved out. But I also want to start branching out. It's fun. It's fun. That's the beautiful part about art. You can do whatever you want.
right. You manifest it yourself, and that is the great thing about art, is being able to manifest it yourself. Whether it's drawing, writing a book, doing music, like no matter what you do, you get to manifest your own art, and that's an amazing thing. Um, yeah, I think some cats in Arizona would like it because I see a lot of reggae bands come through Arizona.
I guess I haven't tapped into those scenes.
Like Collie Bullets, I know comes through. A few people have come through.
I know the rock and roll scene is really big out here too. I mean, I think we have a lot of artists that could potentially even cross over into like other scenes. We're not just rappers. I think we got a lot of potential really good artists, people that really can create some beautiful art in our scene. I think we got a lot of beautiful things coming, and I hope I'm one of them.
Right? Well, I think you are, brother. I've been watching you from afar for a bit, and everybody knows that's kind of the way I am. Like, I'll find an artist, I'll hear a song, I like it, and then I step the fuck back because when I get into music, I invest myself into that person, that artist. So I want to know what I'm investing into. You know what I mean? So I get
Mm-hmm.
artists on here. I'm like, man, I could name 3 of your fucking songs. I ain't gonna lie. But I've been watching you, your business, how you hold yourself, and I'm getting into you. You know, that's just kind of the way I like to roll myself. I've been let down by too many artists and shit. You know, some
Yeah,
fucking.
there's a lot of people out here that are doing it as a hobby.
I mean, it's so hard to do it as a hobby unless you're hugging someone's coattails. I think unless you're really truly happy with like 5, 10 people at a small show or doing backyards or something. Really.
Well, and that's cool. There's a lot of people that
Yeah.
want that, but there's also other people that want other things.
Right. Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
world domination. That's what I want. I'm out for world domination.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know.
But I'm gonna take the world to give it back to the people. That's the whole goal, right?
Right? And fucking Binky in the Brain said it the best. You know what we're going to do today? Take over the world like every other day.
You know what we plan on doing today, right?
We're going to handle this shit. Fuck.
Hey, that cartoon knew what's up.
It did. Absolutely. It did. And you know what sucks too right now is that was part of Animaniacs, right?
Yeah, that was back in the day.
My voice guy, I have a voice actor that calls in. He's called in and talked to Kung Fu Vampire as Kermit. Like, he's come in and talked all sorts of voices with like Chucky Chuck, don't give a fuck and shit. But he does, like, I always tell him, oh, dude, that's fucking John Lennon. He's like, no, goddammit, it's one of the Animaniacs. I'm like, well, fuck, it sounds like Lennon.
Bro, I remember the Animaniacs like that was yesterday, waking up on Saturday.
Yep, the good days, man. This generation just don't know. Rick and Morty and shit's cool, but them shows were something else. It's the time period.
See, it falls on us. We got to manifest that. Falls on us.
Absolutely.
We don't manifest the art, then nobody knows.
Right. And that's one thing I noticed about you, bro, is you're a very positive person.
Well, I had to go through a lot of negativity to be able to see a lot of positivity in negative things.
Right.
I've had a lot of life experience, and I don't know. I believe the negativity can eat you alive if you let it. So,
right.
I guess it gets to a point where you can't look at things negatively anymore. I made a commitment. Even a long time ago, like 10, 12 years ago. I made a small commitment to not lie to people anymore. So it starts small. You have to make small commitments. I didn't purposely lie to people, but I kind of like, I don't know. I was an orphan. Like, I kind of had to like, I don't know. I would do what I needed to do to survive.
Right.
But it got to a point where I had to grow up and like, no, lying, cheating, stuff like that. That's not okay. So I made even small commitments, but start small and eventually it just becomes a habit and a way of life.
I have to totally agree with that because a little brag of myself. Tomorrow I got 3 years sober. I smoke weed and that's all I do.
Amen, brother.
Right? And it took small commitments, small things to get myself going, you know?
Yep.
And now I actually have more fun in my life. Like, it was cool, but like dead ends are dead ends, you know what I mean? You got to make that right turn or left turn.
It was I think it was 50 Cent that said it. He said everybody wants to be Scarface, but they all forget about how the movie ended.
Right? It never works out.
Never.
Every single one of those movies that people love, you know, I like Goodfellas, but look how that shit ended up. Pesci got killed, De Niro got ratted out, and the other dude escaped off pretty much free.
Bro, look at Training Day.
Training Day? Fucking Bronx.
That scene at the end when his car got blown up, that shit was crazy. They probably put 500 shells into that one car.
Right. They made sure it was a done deal.
Bro, he was done either way.
They were committed. I mean, even the Bronx Tale, you know? Fucking, I'm Benny from the Bronx. I told you I'd get you. Fucking little kid grew up and got his ass.
You live by the sword, you die by it.
Exactly. And you know, that's an irritating thing with hip-hop in itself now is, especially on the mainstream, the glamorization of all this shit. And at least before say 90s, okay, because I'm 41, so 90s, these dudes lived and died by that shit. Nowadays, with a lot of like the mainstream stuff, it seems like they're not really doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's all fake and fluff. You know, I don't know. It just seems like the whole game's been changed up from the streets all the way up to the music. It's different now.
Well,
It's not.
I believe a lot of it's more controlled. So I hope more of what you're speaking on is the controlled part of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you look into it, like especially in our scene, and I imagine in every city there's a circle like ours that is truly devoted to hip hop, but they're not getting exposure. They don't have the dollars behind them. So the people you're speaking on are the people, unfortunately, being controlled by the dollars and the powers that be. So it lies on people like us to proclaim who we are on our own. That's why I wear it on my hat every day. I didn't put this hat. I didn't put this on a hat to sell it to people. I put it on a hat so I could put it on every day and look in the mirror and know who I am. I manifested a new thing. I'm not just Chris Nash anymore. I'm also Sound Aphx. I am a new entity. I created a new being. People got to believe in themselves, man. They're being controlled and they're losing thoughts to all these powers that be, and they're losing control of themselves. So we're even losing ourselves in the television and the radio and all that. Stay true to yourself and the people around you. It's a philosophy I came up with a long time ago. In order to beat the 1%ers, and I'm sure you know who they are. In order to beat the 1%, you have to get enough of the 99% on your side to shut them up. So you have to have enough of the 99%ers on your side and that believe in you to be able to break through that 1%. Otherwise, they're gonna fight you off and kill you off fucking left and right. I don't know, man. The industry's controlled. We can't do nothing
Right.
about it.
But you know the positiveness of it though, is it? And it's coming from somebody like I'm old. I come from the old punk rock scenes and shit, the Southern California hip hop punk rock scenes and shit, right? But we had a good scene, you know what I mean? And that's because the powers weren't in control. It was a bunch of people supporting each other and building something. It wasn't just building themselves; they were building a sound, you know. So I think that's at least a positive that comes out of it, you know, because once someone like I think especially in a scene when people start getting one person, one group starts getting bigger, that's when all the infighting and all the other bullshit comes in. You think?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't really speak on it. I've only got a couple years in it, so I don't like speaking on things that I'm not super experienced in.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
uh, but I don't know. I would like to believe it wouldn't be like that. I would like to believe that. But I would if it is that way. What the reason why I would think it is because of that is because those people maybe can't control the power they have gotten so fast. And or maybe they were scared to delegate some of the power to people they trust. Maybe they didn't have a strong inner circle or something in that nature. If there's problems going on inside the locker room, it's usually leadership. So I know that for sure. It's usually the leadership.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it all boils down to the leader. It all boils down to the leader, and there's leaders in every single circle. We got a leader, a very strong leader in our circle, in our Phoenix community, and I believe a lot of people don't like him, but I believe he does a lot of good things for our community, and I do believe he has the best interest in mind, and I do believe he's even got maybe the powers to be in his ear. I don't know if they're in his pocket. I don't know how that works. I probably shouldn't even talk about nothing like that, but I
And
know the leader. I
even
know the leader in our community. I know he believes in us, and I believe he's got our best interest in mind.
right. Yeah, I kind of think I know who you're speaking on and stuff, but yeah, we'll let that be because if it's who I think it is, there's either love or fucking hate. Like there's no in between.
Respect the Underground is widely known for a reason, and I've done a lot of work with them. And Justice is a very good person. I've worked with him a lot behind the scenes. He's a very good person. A lot of people maybe have their own opinion about him, and if you got an opinion based off of Facebook about him, you probably should reach out to him because he's actually a really good person, and he's even made it clear he's got an open door policy. So if you don't like something about him, contact him directly. He won't attack you. He will talk to you openly about it. He's actually a very wise individual. He's very smart. He's very smart. I respect Justice. I respect Justice a
Okay.
lot.
See, I'm probably thinking of a different artist person.
Well, I was talking about Justice.
Okay,
He's
yeah, this other person I'm
I
talking
believe
about
he's the
ain't.
main leader. He's the go-to guy as far as our circle. As far as the hip hop community in Phoenix, he's at the forefront. Um, he's got the reins right now.
Okay.
He's got the key to the door. He can open the door for us. He really can, and he already has. He's brought. Look at all these names that he's brought out that are not performing at major arenas. They're performing at clubs downtown. They're at Monarch Theater, right down the fucking road. You can go kick it with these people right down the road. That hasn't happened really much before. I mean, these artists might come out to like the Glendale Arena or like the Suns Arena and perform, but they're not coming out to clubs. He's bringing headlining names out to local clubs. That's big.
Awesome.
Not only that, he's got a couple other promoters that are doing it as well. It wasn't going on like this 5 or 7 years ago, but there's big names that are coming out here. Little Rob was just out here like a week ago, shut down the whole entire place. But it's not just Respect the Underground. Now it's other people branching out and doing it as well. So there's a lot of positive things coming from our scene.
See, and it's good things for me to learn because, like I said, it's been hard for me to crack Arizona. I'm in Arizona.
You're in Colorado. Oh, I thought you were in Colorado.
No, I was in Colorado for a bit. I'm in Kingman, Arizona.
Kingman?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that the other day.
Yeah, I'm right here in Kingman. I mean, it's okay. It's home.
Do you guys do show? How's the scene out there? Is there like a scene in Kingman? I've never actually been to Kingman, so that's horrible. I mean,
God damn. Okay,
well, maybe we should do it. Damn it! We'll start the fucking the Kingman fucking section of the hip hop for fucking Arizona.
See, and that would be really cool because like I got a little in with the tattoo shop here and stuff. Like I haven't really reached out because I've been so busy with all this other stuff that I really can't. And to be honest, I'll be straight up about Kingman, man. Fucking half the people show up got 3 fucking teeth. I swear to God. This is the most weird butt-fucked ass town I've ever been in. And I've lived in North Carolina. I grew up in California. Like this is a trippy ass little town.
Fucking Kingman. Honestly, this is horrible. I don't even know where Kingman is.
It's 40 miles east of Laughlin and about an hour and a half away from Vegas.
All right, so you're north.
Yeah, I'm in the north. I'm in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, I ain't been that far north before my whole life.
No, ain't much out here unless you're going somewhere else. That's the fucking truth.
It's even still. I mean, on a serious note, I mean maybe look into it. I know there's at least 5 or 10 artists out there that could bring out 5 or 10 family members.
Which I would be thinking.
Put it the right way. If you brought out 100 people to a bar or even like a small venue in Kingman, fuck man, that people would watch. Their eyes would open.
And to be honest, you're actually really on it too, because then they wouldn't be going to Laughlin, Phoenix, or Vegas.
Or even still, I didn't even think, because I'm sure Laughlin's really close. You could even make a little mini tour out of it.
Right. I mean, I got people in Vegas. I mean, I got promoters and stuff in Vegas, like, that do me pretty good. I mean, yeah, definitely do a little mini tour. Like, we haven't really set nothing up out here, like I said. I've been too busy. But, I mean, it would be good for the youth and stuff out here to have something else to do other than fucking sketching out in their bedroom somewhere. Because I know they do go to some of these bars. They got some cool little bars. They're a cool little downtown. It's Route 66, So I'm sure some cool stuff could be done here.
Well, the bad part is I know hip hop and just rap in general is kind of shunned, so it actually might be hard to get some of those places to accept you into the venues. Just like the kid that was just literally stabbed in the neck at 67th Ave in Glendale. I'm at 67th Ave in Happy Valley. That was on the other side of Phoenix, but maybe 15 miles away from me. A kid was stabbed in the neck for listening to damn rap music. Shit's crazy. We're actually shunned, so it might be tough to get into a venue or something out there, but you never know. There's probably people that that need somebody to do something about that. There's probably people that need that outlet, that would actually benefit greatly from it, even if it only brought out 50 to 100 people. It's probably like Sal Marcello. Like I mean, I hate to bring it back up at Ben, but fuck, man, rest in peace to Sal Marcello, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, the show didn't bring out 100 or 200 people. It was always a crowd of 20 or 30 people, but it was all love all the time, and anybody ever involved completely respected anybody. It was just a beautiful thing. So maybe I think
that makes a lot of sense, actually. I mean, and it really does. And I think the way to get around the hip hop thing is this is like, okay, talk San Diego. In San Diego, I got some people out there. These guys are cult music. A lot of their music is real eclectic. It goes across all the genres with a little rap rock, some throwback to Beasties type stuff, And clubs that wouldn't take rap bands, they came in under a little bit of a rock and roll, the rock thing. It smashed, dude. It worked out great for them. Like, they started to build a really good scene down there now.
It all starts with the thought, and then you manifest it.
Right? Absolutely. Let's get back around to you, though. Okay, so we talked. You did some reggae stuff, and you're talking about doing stuff the Jamaican artists, expanding that way. What is your lane? Where do you see yourself at right now with this?
So that's the difficult part, because I'm having to carve a new one, because I've actually been told by a few different people that my sound doesn't fit, and a lot of the normal kind of hip hop stuff, the normal club music where everybody wants to bounce and dance, talk about money and all that. I'm carving a new lane. So there's actually another artist out of Arizona. His name is Sick, S-I-K. Have you ever heard of him?
No, I hadn't heard of him.
No, you got to look him up. So immediately when you get off, do yourself a favor, and anybody listening, go look this dude up. He literally is the only artist, and maybe this is bad to say, but he's the only artist from Arizona in my personal playlist. I support everybody, but he's the only artist in my personal playlist. But if I were to compare myself to anybody, it would be him, because he's unlike anything, because he speaks on just directly who he is, and from his personal experiences. Nobody can sound like me if I just stay true to myself. So I don't try and sound cool. I actually talk about being broke and my bills not even being paid, and I talk about weird stuff. But I give it's all a hidden message about God. That's why I wear a cross on my neck. It's all for him. I give the glory to God for everything, because he put me here to do this. Yeah, I got a lot of good people around me, though. It's my homie Ace the Business.
It is.
He works with us too. It's not just me. We got a lot of good people around us. I don't know, man.
I know you mess with Bills a lot.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. He's actually I look to him for spiritual advice as well. But I've known Bills for, I don't know, man, probably 10 or 15 years. A long time. We used to work together. We worked together for a really long time. So we spent a lot of time talking about all this stuff, kind of manifesting it. Literally probably 5 and 10 years prior to any of it actually even happening. And it was a constant conversation. It wasn't something that we would just bring up like once a month or like every other month. It was literally like, we were sick and tired of being here at work. We need to do this. And it was every day we were constructively talking about, making new additions, or even just writing a new bar or something. And you don't have to wake up every day and dedicate 8 hours to your craft. If you just wake up, and even just that day, if you just, wrote 4 bars, or, wrote half a verse or something, if you did something that day to progress, then you took an extra step. And if I dedicated anything to our success, it was not that we took large steps, but we constantly took small steps. And that's why I would say here we are years later. It wasn't something that happened overnight. Here we are years later. Bills, a lot of people don't even know this. How long, in fact, I'm actually curious, how long do you think Joseph Bills has been performing here in Arizona?
I've only been aware of him about 3 years, so that's about as best as I would be able to say.
Okay, so this is going to blow your mind, brother. This dude is going on 20 fucking years of performing here in Arizona. This is, if I were to put a number on it, I know he's surpassed 12. I think I want to say he's flirting with like 13, 14, somewhere in that range. But he is he's light years past us, both in experience and everything. He's not. It's just not something that it's just. He didn't just wake up like this. Like it's constant progression. That's all it is. It's just literally every day.
That hype shit.
It's just good to have somebody like that around you that you can pick their brain that's got that experience.
He's got that experience, and yeah, it is. It's invaluable. And I actually, I would say I would give him a credit to a large part of my success, especially in the beginning, because I had an entire project written, but I didn't know what to do with it. And he was like, I got you. That's what I do. So he literally recorded and mixed my entire first project, was the entire reason I was able to release anything. Connected me to the first person that I connected to with shows, and I don't know, I just kind of put in work from there. People can open the door from you, but once you're in, you got to start fucking kicking ass and taking names. If you just go into the house and sit down and you're like, hey guys, I'm Chris, I'll be over here in the corner, they won't be noticing shit. He opened the door, but I went in there and I started fucking slaughtering motherfuckers left and right. You know what I'm saying? But same with Ace. He's up next. He's fuck, man. It's kind of weird because Ace has put in about a solid year's worth of work with us. He's been on stage. He's been performing. He's been moving with us. Bills is actually recording his project too, or I don't know. Maybe I gave away some information I wasn't supposed to, but he's recorded some songs with Bills already. So y'all should look out for that shit. And I'm trying to convince Ace. I don't know if Bills even knows this yet. I'm trying to convince Ace to do a whole fucking project with him, because he's next up, and he deserves the spotlight.
He's gonna get it. I'll say it loud and clear. Bills will be on my EP for the club banger. So that's one thing that he naturally produces is positive energy. And it just vibes through you can feel that shit every single time. It's, I don't know, but that's the shit that I need to go ahead. Either you throwing that money in the club, or you throwing that ass in a circle. That's for sure. Some shit that's gonna. That's what the crowd wants. So I can go and people want to spit all kind of bars if they want to, but I need a good hook. I got a guy that's gonna do the hook. Great repetitive hook. Great beat. And then I go ahead and just say some cool shit. I really don't even have to rap that good. I'm like, because people are not, I'm like, you just got to put real shit in there. I'm always going to put some real shit, but I don't have to go as hard as I would, like, put that super thought. It's a club banger. All people are like, hey, yeah.
Right. No, most definitely.
So sometimes less is more.
It is.
That's exactly why I'm trying to go and put that out on this club banger. Every club banger I always think about, I might even Doobie, back that ass up. That shit was pretty simple. Mm-hmm. But still to this day, hey, scrubbing the whole ground with that shit. Like that's I want to make one of those.
Right. 20
years from now, I want somebody's granddaughter fucking throwing that shit in the circle.
and you're speaking truth too, because
no, he is. He's a little tipsy. He's been drinking a little bit, but he's literally speaking facts. You got to make music that's timeless. If you don't, you're just basically listening, making shit to fucking listen to in your car as you're going to work that ain't nobody else gonna listen to.
Right. I'm like, cause it's cool. Like, a lot of rappers like to have their tier. But then there's fans that really don't even listen to music. They might buy your album for just that one song.
Right.
You got to reach out to them people too. They're like, their mind isn't here, but they still are a person too. So I got to consider those people. And those people, they buy shit.
Right. No, definitely. So. Yeah, because they're positive. They're in that positive, upbeat, the banger stuff. And what you're saying is very true, because like at my job at the travel center I work at, for music we play like this Pop 2K or something channel or whatever. So it plays all the stuff from the 2000s, and it'll be old people, young people come in, and they'll hear some shit, some fucking Flow Rider or something, and they're like instantly like they're moving to it and shit, like all these different songs from back then, and they still feel it.
artist is.
Right? And they just know it. Like they're just into it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Who is it? Oh man, there's somebody else. Oh yeah, Post Malone. Post Malone is outside of Mac Miller. Post Malone's probably my favorite artist right now because there's so much music out there that he has that you would never even know it was his. You hear a song, I've even heard a song 10 and 15 times before I realized, like, oh shit, this is Post Malone. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, if you get
my
past
favorite artist, people would have never thought. Pitbull,
Yeah, Pitbull is
one of my favorite artists.
He's great at doing that.
He every single time he's front and center stage, and everybody vibes to his music.
Yeah.
It's something simple. It's clean. Don't cuss. Radio play. Cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I
Bombing
got
it.
this talent that I don't produce. I'm trying to go ahead like Bills. He stopped cussing in this music. So I just wrote a song. I didn't cuss in there. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's something
It
else.
was hard.
Bills don't cuss in his music. Have you ever realized that?
No, I didn't ever catch on to that.
Go back and look at the track. He doesn't. There's no curse words.
No curse words at all. It's difficult.
It's all radio ready. He's ready.
I probably cussed like 50 times already.
It felt better. Like inside, it's like, damn, I think I could play this for damn near anybody.
Well, I naturally don't cuss in my music because I think it takes away creativity. When you write, I'm a very meticulous writer, so I actually naturally don't cuss. But I don't know if you can manage not to cuss in your music and still hold down your natural vibe.
You get full radio play.
Yeah, you automatically got an edge on kind of everybody else.
Yeah, you automatically got a higher vocabulary.
Yeah.
I got a great vocabulary, but I still break it down. Still the old punk rock dude in me. I still, I end up cussing a lot. Sometimes people are just like, dude. I'm like, well,
Everybody does. Everybody does.
Just a little bit more ahead of you. Just in your mind, just a little.
I just consciously chose not to, I think. And I did it for radio purpose. I did it specifically for radio purpose, to be honest.
all right. It makes sense. Like we don't have to fucking see, there I go again. We don't have to just keep using the same repetitive words to express. If we use more of our vocabulary, people understand us, I think, a lot better. Because we're able to explain things better without throwing all the.
That's why M was so great. It's widely known that Eminem was so great because he read the dictionary. That fool read the dictionary.
Yeah.
If I did that, I'd probably be
justice left and right.
I need to do that. I need to get one of the maps and just put the headphones in and just listen to all the words.
Right, because words in themselves are poetry. Like, okay, we're Gonzo Styles, right? Our name, our idea came from the writer Hunter Thompson, right? From Fear and Loathing Las Vegas and stuff like that. And he found words that he truly fell in love with. Like they had their own like emotion to them, their own sound, their own feel. They had their own conjecture. They had a lot of I want to say allegory. Contrast to them, you could say things and it gave a feel, beyond the sentence itself. And I think that's kind of where you guys are kind of going with like learning the dictionary. Other words, not cussing. There's so many other words to be able to use to kind of give a better example of what you're trying to say. If I'm making any sense with this.
Yeah, it you have to, if you're cursing a lot, it dumbs down your verses. I think is what you're getting at.
To paint a bigger picture if you can remove.
It's also like a scapegoat too. Instead of actually finding like the real word that should be in there, you just like, let's just put fuck.
Right. There's a lot of poetry to words. That's what I'm saying.
Also, it's just a lot easier to do, and it's a lot friendlier. It's a lot easier to do nowadays. It's much more accepted these days in our society.
Right.
Almost to a point where it's expected. I mean,
it can hit your heart like if you say nothing with any curse words. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Shit, like it's just a regular.
I don't smoke cigarettes. It's like smoking cigarettes. Just some things look cooler with a cigarette. I think South Park fucked it up. Remember that episode where they counted off the word shit? You remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, I think
over and over. Kept
bro, they fucked up our whole generation. It started with South Park. If we really want to like get like to the nitty gritty, it all started with South Park.
Yeah, because Beavis and Butthead didn't do that. Beavis and Butthead didn't do that. They would take normal words that sounded dirty.
South Park,
right?
they just fucking, they literally pushed it to the limit.
They
found out how many times they could legally say it and said it that many.
Right? And the cool thing about South Park, though, is no matter how filthy and off and twisted it can be, there's always a very valuable point in every damn episode.
Right?
Oh, at the end of it.
Like, Mel Gibson was just rubbing shit all over his house and all over his body. But there's a point to it, you know?
Right.
I know.
I remember that episode.
That was the best episode. The kids went back to the fucking Mel Gibson's house. They went to find Mel Gibson because they were mad because the Passion of Christ was so horrible, which it wasn't. Whoever, I forget the guys who wrote that damn show, but that was a great movie. But they thought it was horrible. So, the writers are Jewish. Yeah. Makes sense now. Thank you,
Ray Parker and Matt something.
Yeah. I'm mad I didn't remember that. But they went to Mel Gibson's house to get their money back because they were pissed off. And he was completely insane.
I like the one where like Cartman shows up as past self after they had all the like supposed this is you from the futures, and they would show up and talk to the kids and try and make them live life better. And then Cartman's totally going to have a better life, and he runs into himself and he's like, "Fuck you and fuck that." It ruins his whole life from it.
That show would be nothing without Cartman.
Cartman's got issues. But speaking of stuff like this, TV, man, have you like watching TV? I'm being 41. I look back, I'm like, dude, none of this stuff could have flown on TV. Like I watch these commercials and shit now, and I'm just like, dude, this was not allowed on TV 10, 15, 20 years ago. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are deemed okay in our society that kind of weren't when we were little.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, I remember there was a clothing place, and this was like in 93. And like the girl came home and she was like really good looking, right? She stopped, took off her jacket, and went and did something else, and was kicking off her shoes and stuff and show her leg. And then she gets on the phone. She goes, "Yeah, this is Bob. I'm home now." Everybody was like, "What the hell?" This commercial made it like 2 months on the air, and it was gone in 93, something like that.
Yeah, that would never happen in 93.
Huh?
I said that would never happen in 93.
No, dude. Like that was as far as they went, and it was done. It was gone. I can't even remember the damn clothing place it was for.
Yeah, there's probably a reason for that. Probably don't deserve to be remembered.
Probably. Yeah, I don't really I talk with you. I follow Bills. Like Arizona wise, like I bumped heads with Stoner a few times. But one got artist in the rock scene I heard Bent Self. Have you heard of Bent Self?
Nuh-uh.
He's kind of like an electro rock type artist. He's not bad at all. He's a really good dude. His name is Destin Marsing. He's somebody to check out. He's pretty decent. He just came back from a little tour.
EDM shit.
I think a lot of our scene is afraid to tap into other scenes. It's actually kind of weird because now that I think about it, I did a show recently and there was an EDM DJ, and I was kind of leery not to do the show, but I was like, it's an EDM DJ. Like, I wonder how they're gonna do. And she did great. And I think we should be more open-minded. I probably should know who you're talking about. And I'm kind of mad at myself for not knowing who you're talking about.
Dude's pretty good. Like, first time I ever caught him, he was covering a song by The Cure. And I was like, dude, this is badass. Like, he's nailing this. I appreciate the shit out of dude.
Make sure, I don't know if he's got something that's shareable, but if you can, tag me.
Look it up.
Check it out.
He's definitely on Facebook. He's a good dude, good humble dude. I forget where he's at in Arizona.
Anybody putting in work in Arizona is good for music in general.
Right. I mean, and unless it's Phoenix, okay, here's my one. We did a show. We're doing a show in Glendale. We got the guys from Cult Music out there. Went through this one promoter. I can't even remember their damn names or nothing. They got us into not a vape shop, but a hookah bar over in Glendale, over by there's a
Jabars.
Was it
Jabars?
I don't know if it was. There's a really cool Asian dude owned it.
It could be Jab Bars. You said if it's a hookah lounge in Glendale.
by Burger King.
I think yeah.
Yeah, like they
That
pulled
sounds
some
right.
artists. They pulled some artists from like New Mexico and stuff that drove all the way out there for the show. We had our guys out there. Had a nice little setup for what the way money was supposed to go. Get there and they're like, okay, you owe us another 150 and this and that. And I was like, what do you? All right, okay, I'm not talking to you no more. I'm talking to the owner of this. We pulled ourselves. That's my one Arizona experience. But just a kooky ass promoter that went back on everything, argued over tickets, who was making the tickets and stuff. Like it went bad down real quick. And I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, anything money driven is you got to be very leery of. So if you're doing business with people, especially in Arizona, the first thing I've learned, even if you do know them personally, it's better to have things on paper because I've lost friends. I've lost friends because of that. People that probably don't like me anymore, and I quite frankly don't like them. It's not like I have any hard feelings. No, I shouldn't actually say I don't like them. They're actually a good person. They're good people. This person in particular I'm speaking of, I won't say any names, but he's a good person. But it just the business part didn't work out, and I feel like if we would have had everything on paper and we would have done it a little better, I think it would have gone smoothly. But paperwork is really key if you're going to do things, especially if there's money involved. And especially if there's more than two hands involved. If you got multiple people involved, you got to have everything on paper. Really, kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. That's why I stick in my little lane here because I got no paperwork worries, no nothing. Like I had my idea on a little label type thing. Bring up a couple artists and stuff. They're just not ready. And that's the one thing I can't force is when they're ready and they're not ready, because life's hard. Like people don't realize like every artist that ain't big, they have to deal with life during the day. Like we talked about the 9 to 5 pays our bills and shit, but our 5 to 10's what, funds our dreams and shit. And people ain't always got time for that 5 to 10.
Fucking still work out.
Yeah, everybody's got a job for sure.
Real jobs.
Gotta have a job. Gotta have a job.
That's my foundation. That's what I call it.
Right? Right? Just like if you go on tour, you gotta have somewhere you call home. You gotta have that center,
I ain't been on tour yet, so I can't relate, but soon I will.
A couple of my friends out of Texas, a couple of them with their label, Funny Farm Records, got to go out on tour for their first time. And they were just like, man, it's a blast. It's testing, but it's a blast. Even that Glendale show, that was the first show we set up. We got like 6 stops. We had Utah, Washington, Montana, Colorado. And the guys did pretty well in most of the places. A couple places didn't pay out, bullshit like that. But they got to grow from all the hardship. They had a blast, but they got to grow and got to know each other better. So they're tighter for it. Like, I recommend a tour. I've never been on one, but I watch and see and listen, and I think it's a hell of a good thing for an artist.
Yeah, the best teacher in life is experience. That's for sure.
Right.
We went on a mini tour. Shout out Christopher Monks and their movement, Mafiotic Misfits. But yeah, we did the Arizona Love Tour 2 years back, and then I think Bill's worked with them this past year. Those are some really good people too. So yeah, shout out just another movement.
Nice. Yeah, I just like. I think it's just real hard for everybody to get out of their own areas and get to other places. Because like me and you were talking about, even on a simple deal, a room and $200, like unless people really know you, it's kind of hard to even pull that and put a tour together. You're almost losing on a tour the first couple times around. For most people I see.
Well, that's kind of what I specialize in is like the budgeting part of the events. The few events that I did kind of have a big part in doing. I did a lot of the budgeting, and I believe just in business in general, you should have your business plan should cover your budget. If you don't have a business plan in line and you're just kind of just throwing things together and hoping money comes in from it, you're probably going to be disappointed. So more times than not, my show budget is even paid for and completely covered prior to the actual show even being done. And you got to do a lot of work leading up to that, such as locking in vendors. If you say you lock in Club Red and you buy their space for 6 hours, you essentially own that space for 6 hours. So you rent some of it out. You find 3 or 4 vendors or maybe some artists that want to perform with you, and you sell some time or you sell some space. You have to get tricky. But prior to, you own that club for 6 hours. So use that to your benefit. Sell that time, sell that space. There's a lot of ways to cover budget. It's not just people paying at the door and crossing your fingers and hoping people get drunk. There's a lot of planning that leads up to it.
Yeah. I know a lot of it's the selling of the merch and stuff. You're really opening my eyes to a lot of stuff. I hope people viewing are learning and stuff from this, because I hadn't thought of it in that aspect. Because usually with the deals I see and stuff, it's, so much is going here, the door percentage here, local artists paying tickets here, that usual setup. But the way you explain that makes a lot of sense to me too.
If you depend on door sales and liquor sales, you're going to fail. So you have to have a third source of income. So it comes from the idea of, I heard, and I'm sure you may have heard of something simple like this, but the average millionaire in America has 6 sources of income. So I kind of use that philosophy when I was going to events. And it's just simple math. If you have, say, if you can create 6 sources of income out of that venue, you're going to make more money. If you're only making money off of door tickets and liquor, it's 2 sources of income. You're super limiting yourself. You have an entire venue. You have it for 6 hours. Expand your income.
Food, merch, and 2 others.
Especially on like a tour where it's somewhere you've never been. We'll just say in a random place. Salt Lake City, Utah. Like, the vendor from maybe other people. I mean, the promoter from other people, whatever. You don't know the club owner. You don't know anything. And you enter in a deal with these people, and you got to hope you get paid. Like, now I'm seeing how where you have vendors and other stuff added into this, in these deals, on how it would be a lot more profitable for you and less risk to it. Because that was a problem.
The only way to properly do it is to rent out the space itself, to pay up front for the space itself, and then pay people out from there. That's the only way to do it. You have to have full control. Otherwise, you're kind of just generating money for other people. Like, there's a lot of places that will let you rent their space, but won't let you keep your liquor sales. That's a big source of income. So you got to replace that source of income by doing something else.
Right.
So you can't, if you're not going to get liquor sales, you got to make sure to replace that source of income. You can't go in and that's where a lot of artists don't understand too. Why they may have to pay a small fee to get onto a show or something of that nature.
They have fucking money.
You're not going to do a good show. I've never done like a really good show at a really small venue. All the good shows come from money, to be honest. So you also gotta not be afraid to invest in yourself. But the smart promoters, if they're asking you to pay $50, generally speaking, if they're smart, if they're good promoters, if there's 10 artists, they got $500 to play with their budget. So they got money to spend, and if they lock in a free venue, then that $500 becomes free money. Now they can lock in a good DJ for $200, and that DJ is paid up front, so that DJ is happy and showing up on time. There's a lot of benefits. Now they can take that out of the $300 and go get a food truck. That's your third source of income. There's a lot of the promoters. The key. There's a lot of money hungry people out here, unfortunately. But if promoters that care about the scene do well. That's why you see Respect the Underground has so many people come out, because they do care about the scene, but they're also smart. They're very smart as far as their business. They're very smart.
And people learn to expect certain things from people like that. It builds that repertoire between people.
It's true. It's very true.
That makes sense, because they usually, like, when it comes to like ticket sales and stuff, I know like a lot of places are hitting the openers for like $150, giving them 25 tickets, and they keep off the top and shit. Which in theory is good if these artists can bring 25 people. But some of the scenes just don't have that to support. It seems.
Well, it's not only that, but if there's 10 artists on the bill and they're all paying $125, that's $1,250. If
Mm-hmm.
the promoter's taking 800 of that and putting it in their pocket and not putting anything into the show, then you're not going to see a good turnover. You're not going to see a good crowd. I mean, you have to invest. You have to invest in these shows. My budget, when I haven't done stuff like this in a while, but when I was doing it, the budget, generally speaking, is about $1,500. And that includes locking down the venue, DJs, kind of everything. And the budget usually is anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. And if you don't have that budget, I mean, you might as well, you have to just hit up the homie and like throw on a show in the backyard, in which we did. We actually did that. That's how we threw our fucking first show. Shout out Vinny Palooza. I don't know if anybody remembers that one, anybody fucking watching, but we had we literally rented a pool from Big Lots, bought a pool from Big Lots for $400, returned it 30 days later because that zeroed out that cost on the budget. Because we didn't have a pool, so we wanted to throw a pool party. So we had the homie's backyard. Oh, Lord.
So you guys out there on the radio, we're gonna have a little pause here. I hope you're enjoying the show. Till the baby's born, we probably won't be doing another Letters Living Dead Girls show or Living Dead until August, but we will be back with that. And I think we're bringing back Savage Society. We'll see how that works out. While we're doing all this, I'm going to do some shout outs. Let's go ahead and shout out Sexy as Fuck Clothing, who sponsors me. We also got Loud Ass Radio. This is Friday night. You guys tune in a little later. The Insanitarium will be on. They'll be up to a bunch of nonsense, probably printing out shirts and whatnot. I got word that the Gonzo Styles shirts will be done tonight or by tomorrow. So that may be what they're working on tonight, which is really dope. We're going to get sound effects on here back in a second. We'll probably wrap up here in just a little bit. I hear the dogs outside. They are hungry. Gotta take care of them, Hope everybody's enjoying the show. Hope you're learning something. I'm learning plenty. Like, I got so many more questions now. One of my questions is, where's the living dead girl? Is she sleeping? Why has she not got a hold of me? And it looks like we lost sound effects. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Probably just lost steam or whatever. I'll go ahead and I'll end up the show. Much love to him for coming on, enlightening us. If you're in Arizona, show some love, man. Like, they're building a scene here in Arizona. It's mad love, much respect. Any scene you're in, build into it. Music's a great thing. It saves. And we say that all the time. But I'm going to bounce out. Much love. DJ Gonzo, I'm out. This is The Couch. You're on Loud Ass Radio. Much love. Peace out. We'll see you soon. Next Wednesday. Actually, let's look right here and see the calendar. Let me tell you what we got coming on soon. Mark Bone, we're rescheduling. We're going to do him today. But we brought on Sound Effects. Mark Bone will be on soon. He's going to the Gathering. He's performing this year. I'm in talks with Mars. He's going to be on the 17th. Jay Smooth from GSS out of Pennsylvania on the 19th. Dude's dope as hell. I think you'll like his sound. Really good artist. Then we also got G Sharp out of Minnesota. I think I'll bring Stampede and, Mr. JP. We'll bring him on. And I think for that show, we're bringing back some of the games. Do you want to play a game? We do around here. I think we'll play some Would You Rather. Or maybe some Deny or Run with it. We'll see. And then 26, somebody I've been doing an interview for a long time. Yeah, he's been a watcher, listener. The Stars, I hope I'm saying it right. Much love to him. He just had a baby. We're bringing him on the 26th, and beyond that, I don't know. We'll see how it works out. It's all love, though. Much love. Peace.